For every 5 new t-shirts made a year, 3 are tossed in the trash. So in 2016, that's when social media started to really take off. Obviously, it had existed before that, but this is a time of the year everyone got on Instagram and the influencer culture really started to take off. I mean, shopping online, again, existed, but social media gave it a huge boost. And once again, fast fashion read the room and was like, hey, we're on this social media train too. And they saw this as their opportunity to further cut corners. Now, companies didn't really need much marketing. They just needed a legit Instagram so people would visit their online shop. And this was a whole new world. An era of fast fashion begins. And yes, the technical term is ultra fast fashion. It sounds like a bad sequel. Yes, a whole new world. An era of fast fashion begins. And yes, the technical term is ultra fast fashion. It's like the big gulp of fast fashion. I love a big gulp. So these are brands like Shein, Boohoo, Pretty Little Thing, ASOS, that's where this is from. I'm so sorry, planet, world, everyone. Don't vote for me for president. You get it. Now, it seems pretty normal to us now, especially after the pandemic where everything started to be online. But these companies completely changed the game because of their business model. This was to operate almost entirely online. I mean, think about how much money these companies can save. They're not having to pay rent to be in a mall. They don't have to worry about shoplifters or window displays, marketing, bleep, blop, bloop, hiring. It's now just a warehouse with a ton of cheap clothes piled inside of it. So instead of wasting all that money on a storefront, when they knew that their customers preferred online shopping, they dumped all of their cash into influencer marketing and celeb partnerships. Brands like Pretty Little Thing knew that their target demographic was young people who were influenced by celebrity culture. And they realized if they spent their marketing budget getting people like Kourtney Kardashian to be in their advertisements, the clothes would sell like hotcakes, regardless of the quality. Pretty soon, Fashion Nova does a line with Cardi B, Boohoo teams up with Zendaya, and boof, the money is rolling in. Sometimes there's no official partnership at all. Like a brand will just straight up copy a celebrity's outfit or a piece of designer clothing. And they usually get away with it because inventory is constantly changing to keep up with trends and these freaking micro trends. And before something can get flagged for being a knockoff, it's already gone. It's like a friggin' spiral. And not only that, it's kind of the wild, wild west when it comes to clothing designs. Actually, our expert for this episode, Dana Thomas, writes about this in her book, Fashionopolis. So don't forget to check that out for a more detailed explanation. But in summary, people's designs are straight up getting ripped off left and right because there's no real laws protecting them. Like if you see someone's design, you can swap maybe a small pattern on it, add a little pop of blue, and then kabam, you have a totally different design. It's completely legal. Like there's just loopholes everywhere. So a lot of the times you'll see knockoff dresses and whatnot, but they can't do anything about it, you know? Unfortunately, you can't trademark or copyright or even patent most designs because according to the government, clothing is a, quote, useful article, like a necessity, and not an artistic creation. So big companies with a lot of resources take advantage of this and screw over whatever designer they want all of the time. They steal, especially from younger or independently owned people, companies. It sucks. These companies know if someone sues them, there's usually not much they can do unless someone has a status that helps amplify the problem if it's happening to them. Soon it wasn't just celebrities trying to sell clothes. It was now mainly influencers. So really fast fashion and social media are these two BFFs just keeping this circle jerk alive. Studies actually show that time spent on social media correlates to online shopping, and following more influencers is directly tied to more time spent shopping, probably for the things that they're being paid to wear and recommend. I don't get sponsored by fast fashion. Oh, but this is fast fashion. Yeah. Don't buy this. I told you. Yeah. At the end of the day, the problem with fast fashion isn't simply influencers though, so let's not blame them. And it's not even social media, it's something so much darker. I'm talking about the situation that went down. I'm talking about this rumor that was going around that the word help started showing up on clothing tags and order forms from a fast fashion company named Shein. Now, I should say these cries for help haven't been 100% confirmed as real, but investigators tried to confirm if this was true or not, but they essentially kept getting doors slammed in their face. Yeah. Shein exploded into the fast fashion industry real quick. I mean, it's the #1 shopping app in 56 countries. I bet you didn't even know there was 56 countries, including the United States of America. And it's easy to see why. I mean, everything is very, very affordable. The clothing ranges from $8 to $30. But makes you think, well, how are they doing it then? Well, that's the thing. No one really knows. The company Shein is extremely secretive. That's suspicious, okay? Especially about how they treat their employees. Shein's headquarters is located in Guangzhou, China, and what happens there is one big, again, mystery. Only a handful of outsiders have ever been allowed to see the inside of their factories. Yes, it was giving me Willy Wonka, for sure. In 2021, a journalist named Wu Peiyu, who works for an online magazine named Sixth Tone, was able to tour their facilities. I'm not sure how she got in, but she got in. And what Wu reported was pretty alarming. There wasn't one big Shein factory. Shein was a web of small, rundown workshops spread across the city, and each of them were filled with exploited and uncontracted workers. If the workers are not part of something called a social welfare system, they essentially have no rights, no guarantees, and can be massively underpaid, or honestly just not paid at all. There was actually an investigation done into Shein's staff in Guangzhou, and they found that employees usually worked 75-hour weeks and only got 1 day off per month. That's more than working 10 hours a day, including weekends. But because all of this is happening thousands of miles away for so many of us, and because Shein has lied about their labor practices, the problem is often overlooked. As one journalist said, quote, "There is no magic. The only way you get such a cheap product is by not paying workers." End quote. You might be thinking, Bailey, why would anyone work there if things are so bad? I would just quit. Well, first of all, yes, it's a huge bummer. Your feelings are valid. But when countries don't have strong labor laws, this is the best and maybe only option for so many people.